Hey guys, Happy New Year. This is my first live that I've done in a while, and it's definitely my first live in 2020. So I wanted to talk a little bit about today about starting off your new year in a healthy way. I've been getting a lot of emails from people, help me get back on track after the holidays, and some people are setting New Year's resolutions. So I just want to talk a little bit about helping you set some goals and trying to help you have the healthiest year, 2020, that you can. So the first thing I want to say is how many of you guys set a New Year's resolution, right? So many people set New Year's resolutions, and the statistics are really pretty bad. I think it's like 80% of people break their New Year's resolution within a couple of weeks. And I think the reason is that we don't think things through. First of all, I don't really like the word resolution. To me, it sounds too, too strong. There's no gray zone. Resolution is, it's too black or white. So I like to use the word goals better. So I would really encourage you to think about, what are your goals for this year? And I'm sure a lot of you have some kind of health-related goals. So think about what it would be. So I did a post in my Instagram feed last week, and it was on goal setting for 2019. So check that out just to get a refresher. But so think about what kind of goal do you want to set for this month or this year or whatever. And don't be super vague. You might just say, I want to lose weight. Okay, that's fine. Or I want to get fit. But you want to be more specific with your goal. Well, let's just say if your goal is to lose weight, because I think a lot of people do have a goal of wanting to lose weight. And that's fine. There's a lot of kind of stuff on social media which might make you feel bad about wanting to lose weight. You should accept your health at every size and all that. That's awesome. But if you want to lose weight, that's fine. It's your body. If you want to lose weight, it's totally fine. So let's just say your goal is you want to lose weight. So that could be your goal. You want to think, why is that goal important to you? You have to really have a lot of, I think, feeling behind it, because unless you can really, really relate to it and really feel it, you're not going to be able to stick to it. You have to have real reasons for wanting to lose weight. So maybe it would be because you'll have more confidence. You'll feel better about yourself. Maybe it would be that it will help lower your insulin levels, or it will lower your blood pressure or your cholesterol, your blood sugar. Maybe you'll fit into your clothes better, but you have to really have a reason. So don't just say, I want to lose weight without really thinking about it, because it's going to be hard. Making changes in order to lose weight or whatever your goals are, it's hard to make these changes because these have to be sustainable changes. So unless you really have a strong motivator, it's not going to last. So take some time. I love people to write things down. I'm a huge fan of journaling. So just get out a notebook and just kind of write down whatever your goal is. Maybe it's to get more fit. Maybe it's to have more energy. Maybe it is to lose weight. But write down your goal and write down some reasons why it's important to you. And maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you? So for me, for example, my goal for this year was to launch an online course. It's not a health goal, but it's an important goal to me. And if I just said that goal without really thinking it through, how many times have I wanted to give up? So I have to really think, why is it important to me? And there's a lot of reasons why it's really important to me. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's probably about an 8. So it's really important. So take some time and do that. And then think about, how would your life be different if you met this goal? Again, you have to feel it, okay? So let's just say your goal is to lose weight. How would your life be different if you lost some weight? Maybe you would have more energy. Maybe you would be able to take that kickboxing class that you want to take. Maybe you would feel less stressed because you knew that you started to ovulate again. Or you had more confidence because you could fit into your work clothes better. So you have to feel, how would your life be if you met this goal? So that's the next thing. And then moving on, you have to break it down. Like for me, for example, for launching this course, okay, I can say I want to launch a course, but unless I figure out how to break it down into steps, I would never be able to launch the course. So I had to break it down. Okay, the support I needed was I needed to get some help. So I took a course to learn how to launch a course, which I just finished taking. So you need to figure out what kind of support you need. Maybe you need support from your significant other. Maybe you want them to help you eat better or to cook healthier dinners, kind of thing. Maybe support could be you would order an online meal delivery service. But you need to think about what you need to help you meet that goal. Maybe you could contact one of your friends and have an exercise buddy, and you guys could go take a walk on your lunch hour, or you could take a yoga class together. It's not a bad thing to have support. So think about what you would need to help you meet that goal. Maybe the support that could be that you'll take my online PCOS course, which I'm launching in February, I hope, or beginning of March. Maybe that could be your support. But anyway, whatever you need, so write that down. You're going to get your notebook. You're going to write your goal down. You're going to write down why it's important to you on a scale of 1 to 10. How important is it to you? What kind of support do you need? Then it's really important to focus on the process, not the outcome. I think so many times we might just say, oh, I want to get fit, or oh, I want to lose weight, but you're not thinking about how are you going to get there. Is it time to panic at age 30 with no children? No, don't panic. There's one good thing I'm going to say is women with PCOS tend to have longer fertile windows because as you get older, you actually tend to make less androgens, and you have a greater chance of getting pregnant at a later age than somebody who doesn't have PCOS. So the fact you have no partner, I guess you should think about that. But no, I wouldn't panic. You're still 30 is still young, and there's still plenty of things that you could do. So what I was saying, to focus on the process, not the outcome. You need to have a plan. You can't just say, I'm going to get fit and expect it to happen, or I want to lose weight and expect it to happen. You need to really have a plan and break it down into very small goals. Getting back to me, I took the course on how to launch a course. I hired a virtual assistant to help me do some things because it was stressing me out. So you need to really break it down. So for example, if your goal is to lose weight, I always tell people to start off by keeping a journal and just start writing down in the journal, what they eat, what time they eat, how do they feel, what do they get for sleep, what are they doing for exercise. Just start to take, just start to get a good idea of your habits, and then you want to start setting small goals on how to improve things. But the thing is, they have to be really small goals each week. You can't just try to expect to lose 20 pounds in 2 or 3 months. Don't focus so much on the weight loss, but focus more on the process. How are you going to get there? Maybe you could start to cut your portions of starch in half and eat more vegetables. Maybe one goal could be is that you're only going to have a snack for 100 calories after dinner, not 300 calories. But you need to have very small, we call them SMART goals. So let me see if I remember what it stands for. SMART. So it's specific, measurable, actionable. I can't remember what R stands for. And then T is time specific. So yes, set your goals very, very small and very specific. And don't set more than 2 goals a week, maybe 3, because if you're trying to do everything overnight, it's just not going to happen. So that's an important thing. The next thing I want to say is you have to be prepared for lapses, okay? A lapse is when something's going to happen. It's going to throw you off, okay? So what can I do? Here's an example. One of my coaching clients right now went with her mom to Nashville for the weekend over the holidays, and she ate kind of a lot more than usual, and she gained 3 or 4 pounds, and she came home and she was really upset. And she said that it messed up her mind for a while, and it made her eat more because she got upset with herself. You know what? That's going to happen. You're going to fall off, whatever your goal would be. But you have to be prepared for that, and you have to have a plan. So when you have this lapse, what are you going to do? Another example would be you may have seen me talk about this woman, Laura Summers, in my stories. She's a woman who's lost 500 pounds. I don't remember the specifics, but I think she weighed like close to 800 pounds, and now she weighs 370 pounds. It's taken her 7 years to do this, but imagine what she goes through, okay? Every day is like a struggle for her, and there'll be weeks when she gains 2 pounds and she did nothing different, and she's constantly having these lapses and dealing with her mindset. So you have to be in it for the long haul, and you have to be prepared. Success to meet your goal is not a straight line. You're going to get lots of blips. So be prepared for that, and have a plan. It's really all in your mindset is what it comes down to. And then the final kind of step I would say is, as I had mentioned before, I'm a huge fan of writing things down in a journal, trying to have more positive mindsets. Right now in my course, I'm writing the section on mindset, and I'm doing a lot of research on it. And it's super interesting how our mindset affects our actions, and it affects our success. And if we have, it's something like, I forgot the number, it's something like 10,000 thoughts a day, and the majority of our thoughts are negative, right? I think they say 80% of our thoughts are negative. And I consider myself like a super positive person, but when I heard that, I was like, that's insane. So I started to pay attention, and I have a lot of negative thoughts, and I didn't think I did. So the point is that we have a lot of negative thoughts. I think a lot of women with PCOS, for a lot of reasons, can have a negative mindset, and it's not your fault. Considering what you have to go through to get diagnosed, to get the right medical care, you're frustrated because you're not getting results. You might be really watching what you're eating, and you're exercising and you're not losing weight, or you're gaining weight. Maybe a negative body image. So all this stuff can contribute to negative thoughts. And the thing is if we constantly have negative thoughts, it can actually cause more stress, and it can become our identity. And we feel that we can't do things and we can't accomplish things if we're constantly in a negative state of mind. And I see this with my clients, my coaching clients, a lot. For example, this one client I had, she was doing really well. We talked about an eating plan, and she was, just doing a lot of it. But as soon as she kind of went off the plan and ate a little bit too much, she was so fast to beat herself up. And, I had her keep in a journal, and she would write in her journal, I have no discipline, I can't do it, I had 3 pieces of 3 pieces of pizza, and she was just beating herself up. But then I was like, wait, look at all the good things that you did do. You resisted the cake, you didn't have all the wine, you didn't have the bagels that the other girls were having. So it's really important that you have more of a positive mindset, and not beat yourself up over everything you think you didn't do, and give yourself credit. So that's why in the journals I have my clients keep, is we have a section for gratitude, and a section for giving yourself credit for things that you did, so you're not always focusing on the negativity. So bottom line is, New Year's resolutions, I don't like resolutions. I think goals are much better, is a much better thing to do. Think about what you really want to accomplish this year. A lot of you probably have health goals. Maybe some people have weight loss goals, which is fine. But think about, what is your goal? Why is it important to you? You have to have a really, really strong motivator in order for this to be important for you. Think about what your barriers could be to accomplishing this goal. Maybe if your goal is to lose weight, and your barrier could be you get home from work really late and you're too tired and you order out food. That's a barrier. So what are you going to do about it? It might mean you need to do more batch cooking on the weekends, or maybe you would find healthy order out places to order from. So you need to have a plan. Think about your barriers. my barrier to creating the course was I get very overwhelmed and I'm not good with technology. Like, it took me a while to figure out how to do these lives and how to save them. So technology is not my strong point. So I was getting really panicked. That was my barrier. So what did I do? I hired a virtual assistant and I took a course to help me with some of these things. So think about your barriers and focus on the process, not the outcome. You can't just think about, I want to lose 40 pounds. You need to, how are you going to get there? So focus on that versus just the ultimate goal. Break it down into very small steps. The thing about small steps is you want to feel empowered, because if your goals are too big, you're never going to feel like you accomplished anything. But if you set a really small goal and you did it, you're going to say, hey, I did it. I did a good job. And then you set another small goal and you did it. So that, I forgot what the word, I think it's called self-efficacy. You're gaining confidence in yourself. And when you start to have more confidence, you know you can do it. And the same thing could go for like exercise. You're not gonna, if you don't exercise and your goal is to get really fit, you're not gonna start off and run a half marathon. You would start out and walk a mile. You do it, hey, I did, I felt pretty good. Then maybe the next week you would walk a mile and a quarter. You have to build your self-confidence and see that you can accomplish these goals. And then as you accomplish a lot of small goals, you will eventually meet your larger goal. So be prepared for lapses. That's the next tip. You have to have a plan. What's going to happen when you fall off? Because you will, we all do. How are you going to get back on that? And then write it down. I think a lot of studies have shown if you write something down, your chances of succeeding are much higher than if you just say it in your head. So get your notebook and write it down. All right, so that's my quick live today. I just wanted to get on here because I haven't done a live in quite a long time. And just to remind everybody what I have for you, I can't find my note. Oh, so what I have for you is I have a lot of free stuff on PCOS. If you go to the links, go to my bio up near my name, and there's an Insta link thing, and I have a lot of free stuff. I have a quiz you can take about PCOS, and somebody just said it's a daily fight against PCOS. You start to feel like eating is only a medication, and you can't enjoy eating anymore because it started to become, I can't eat this or I can't eat that. You know what, Maria, you know what, you're right, and I agree with you. When you read stuff on social media, there's a lot of really negative stuff about PCOS. There's a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of, you can't have this, you can't have that. And I don't even have PCOS, but I read all this stuff, and it's just so overwhelming. The thing I would say to you, Maria, is that a lot of this is not evidence-based. A lot of the stuff that you're going to read, for example, and I don't want to get into it right now because that's a whole other live that I could do, but for example, the whole gluten thing, there's no evidence that all women with PCOS need to avoid gluten. And there's dairy and soy, but I'll get into that at another time. There are a lot of really good foods that you can have. I like to say to focus more on the things that you can have versus the things that you can't have. You don't have to give up all carbs. You can have fruit. You can have some whole grains. You don't have to be in a no-carb diet. And I think it's just really sad, some of the stuff that's out there that's total misinformation that's just causing more women to become overwhelmed. And the problem with that is that it can create a really bad relationship with food. It can lead to eating disorders. It can just lead to a whole lot of bad stuff. So don't believe everything that you read. I'm going to stop there because I could go off on a tangent about that. But there's a lot of stuff that you can eat, Maria. So what do I have for you that's free? If you go to my website, Martha McKittrick Nutrition, check out my PCOS blog. I have a quiz that you can take, and you can get free meal plans. You can either get low carb meal plans, moderate carb, or plant-based. Are there any PCOS foods that can reduce acne? Possibly. Some studies have shown that avoiding dairy may help decrease acne. Not all women with PCOS need to avoid dairy, but there is some research behind that. So I would suggest that you cut out dairy if you haven't done so. Your goal would also be to lower androgens. Maybe having some spearmint tea or having ground flax seeds twice a day could help to lower androgens. And then, of course, to be on an anti-inflammatory diet and try to lower your insulin levels. If you go to my blog post, I did a blog on an anti-inflammatory diet, and I did a blog post on how to lower insulin levels through diet and lifestyle. So anyway, really fast, free stuff that I have for you. You can take a quiz and you can get these different kinds of meal plans. That's in the links in my bio, or go to my website, Martha McKittrick Nutrition. I also have another free download. It's a free nutrition guide for PCOS and more meal plans. I have a free download on eating out choices healthy for PCOS that are also low carb. And then lastly, I just want to give a shout out that, as I mentioned earlier, I am putting together a course, an online course. It's 6 weeks, Nutrition and Lifestyle for PCOS. It's going to be very educational, but it's also going to be very, very practical. So you're going to get a lot of tips on meal planning and how to decrease insulin levels and what to do to help decrease your symptoms and recipes and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to get a lot of information. That's coming out end of February, hopefully, or at the latest beginning of March. It's a ton of work to put this course together because you're going to get so much information. You're going to get tons of information. So I have a sign-up link in my bio. You could put your name on the waiting list, so when it launches, you can get 50% off if you sign up when it launches. So check that out. And people in the US and other countries can join. It's not just in the US. And then lastly, I do coaching in the US where you get individualized counseling coaching from me, where you will get everything spelled out for you to help you with your particular issue. So that is it for today. Let me know if you have any questions, and definitely check out all the free stuff that you can get from my blog, links in my bio. And I'm going to hopefully save this. I'm getting better with my technology. So thanks everybody for joining, and I'll put this, it'll be saved in my stories, and I'll put it up on my feed tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.